Because New Zealand weather is so fantastic in the summertime, we're stuck inside for a few days, there's really nothing to do except do YouTube videos. So, I've got a pair of earbuds to review. So these are the Sony C500s, not to be confused with the Canon C500 cinema camera, which is a lot more expensive and probably a bit more useful than this. My camera's not focusing. Camera. There we go. Anyway, so this is a affordable pair of wireless earbuds that Sony just released, and we're going to be reviewing them in today's video. Now, taking a look at the case and the design of these earbuds, you can actually see that it looks very similar to the XP700s I reviewed a little while ago. It's kind of got that sort of rough textured plastic, but it doesn't actually feel too bad. Some people may think it does feel a little cheap, but honestly, it has a good grip to it. Now, compared to the AirPods case, this is more of white matte plastic, and obviously this is the rougher textured black plastic, but it doesn't look too bad. Now, if we open up the lid here, you can see that it's still got that translucent lid, so you can see the LEDs on the earbuds as well as the charging case. And compared to the XP700s, everything on the C500s is basically scaling everything down. So if we actually have a look at the earbuds themselves, if my camera wants to focus, there we go. There we go. Okay, so it's a lot more of a discreet design than the XP700s was. The XP700s relied on a 3-point connection system in your ear to get the most secure fit. These are a little bit more standard. So we've got some Sony branding there, and here isn't a touchpad, but it's a button. So that way it prevents accidental touches, and using the button while these earbuds are in your ear, they don't actually feel too bad. It's not like you're ramming them into your ears. It doesn't actually feel bad. That was my slight concern when getting these earbuds, but overall, it really isn't that bad. Now, in terms of the quoted specs on these earbuds, the audio codecs that they support are AAC and SBC. Yes, I actually remember the audio codecs this time. The battery life on them is 10 hours on the buds, which is actually really impressive, but it's a less impressive extra 10 hours in the case for a total of 20 hours. Decent battery life altogether, really good single battery life and sort of subpar battery life in the case, but it will still get you through a full day of listening. I wouldn't doubt otherwise. These do have a quick charge feature, which is if you plug your cable into here for 10 minutes, you will get an hour of battery, which isn't the fastest quick charge I've seen, but it is pretty good if you need a little bit of extra battery in a pinch. And they also support Android's Fast Pair and Windows Swift Pair. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's basically the sort of the Android and Microsoft equivalent for Apple's W1 chip on like the AirPods, Beats, whatever else they do. And it will basically pair really quickly, and it just comes up with a pop-up window on your phone saying that you want to pair this device and whatnot. So for quick pairing, these are actually really good for that. Now, in terms of the comfort of the earbuds, I actually find them to be pretty good in my ears. The right side actually feels pretty good. The left side, I have a couple more, or it's not quite as secure in my left ear, but I always have problems with my left ear, so it's not a big deal. And you can also see there, you could see the LED flashing there, and also the magnets on this are really strong. So if you could just put them here and they kind of just sink themselves back into place, and when you close the lid you can see the LED through the case because of this sort of translucent shell. So seeing the battery life or seeing the LED for the battery indicator through the case is actually a really cool feature in my opinion. Now, before we get into the sound test of these earbuds, there's probably one thing you want to do before you even start listening to these, and that is to get the Sony headphones app. So for this, here you can control it's basically just a glorified EQ because these earbuds don't have an ambient feature which lets you hear your surroundings, which may be a disadvantage for some people, but I can understand why they left it out because this is quite a cheap pair of wireless earbuds, and we'll talk about the pricing later. So here you've got your EQ. So if you turn on your EQ, you've got a few presets. So you can just turn it off. You've got bright, excited, mellow, relaxed, vocal, treble boost, bass boost, speech, manual, and you've got 2 custom presets. So I have a custom preset here, which is basically just a little bit more scooped, and it's got a little bit more bass to it, which I was trying to make it sound a little bit more like the Bose SoundLink 2s I use, and I basically failed at doing that. So for the most part, I did the sound tests for this with the EQ off, although most of the time I do use my custom preset when I'm listening to music. And also here, you can, on Bluetooth connection quality, you can either prioritize sound quality or prioritize a stable connection. And at the bottom here, you've got DSEE, which is Sony's, it's a audio enhancer, which tries to upscale audio. I'm gonna be 100% honest, I don't really notice the difference. But if your ears are a little bit more tuned to audio, or you're a bit more of an audiophile, unlike me, you may actually hear the difference. Now let's talk about the sound quality. So the sound quality out of these is actually very nice. I really like the sound out of these. So then, unlike the XP700s, they're a lot more, it's a flatter EQ, so it's a lot more of a balanced sound. With rock songs, I did my testing on YouTube Music instead of Spotify because I can actually hear the difference in quality between the two. Yeah, it's good. The vocals come through very clearly. Bass isn't very overpowering, and the high end is also pretty good. Yeah, it's just an overall pleasing sound. So unlike the XP700s, which is a bit more of a bassier EQ, these are obviously, as I've said, probably about 5 times now, these are bit more balanced, which some people may actually prefer, but if you don't like the balanced EQ that's kind of preset, you've got your 2 custom presets on the app, which you can use to adjust the sound to what you prefer. So overall, really good sound, especially for 160 New Zealand dollars. Now, I did also forget to mention that these earbuds have a voice prompt, so they tell you they tell you when the earbuds are connected to something, and they also tell you how much battery you have left on the earbuds. So let's have a look at the controls on the headphones. So these are buttons, not a touchpad. So if I press it once, the music will start playing. Also, this is Hunting Party by Linkin Park. One of my favourite Linkin Park albums. Don't come at me, hardcore Linkin Park fans. Anyway, so a single tap for play and pause and answering phone calls. A double tap will change to the next song. A triple tap, if it works, it reverses? It goes back to the next track. And holding down the earbud or holding down the button will activate your voice assistant. This is what happens when you don't do YouTube videos for a long time, you forget how to do things. So, now, all the playback controls are done on the right earbud, but the volume controls are done on the left earbud. So, for volume controls, you press it to increase volume, and you hold it to decrease volume. So I'll see if I can get that to work. You may need both earbuds in at once. I'll have to test this. Yeah, so you could see the earbud, or you could see the volume going down there. Yeah, you need both earbuds in to actually have access to volume controls on this. But, yeah, you can't change the controls on this, but I feel like the controls that are, preset are still pretty good. So, no complaints about the controls on these earbuds. Now for the price on these earbuds. These are 160, 170 New Zealand dollars. Which I think is actually pretty decent value for these guys. The sound out of them is very good, and while they do skimp on a couple of features like not having an ambient mode, no wireless charging, and the battery life that you get from the case and not the earbuds is kind of short, I think the compromises that were made were the right compromises. To get the price lower, I think Sony did a good job on these earbuds. Now, I didn't actually buy these for 160 New Zealand dollars. I bought them for 97. They've been on sale a lot recently for almost half price at like $98 to $100, and at that price, in my opinion, they're fantastic value. Now, compared to the XP700 wireless earbuds, those went for like $420 when they came here because apparently they were like extremely inflated. And since then they've been dropped to around 180 New Zealand. And even then, between the XB700s and the C500s, if I was to pick one over the other, I'll take the C500s. I just think the C500s are the vastly superior earbud. And with the XB700s, you didn't even get the app. These, you get the app. So I think the app's going to be a big selling point for these earbuds. And overall, I actually think anybody will pick them up and they will be happy with them. So that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, remember to hit that thumbs up button or subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you in the next video in 3 months, I guess? 4? I don't know, maybe a while yet before the next upload arrives. Don't expect anything more from me, honestly, or don't expect any less. I do not have a consistent upload schedule. You'll never get one here. So, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in a couple of months. Catch you guys later. Peace out.